You're staring at the city. It's Nathan. I got a very special guest with me here today. Go ahead and tell him your name and introduce yourself.
Absolutely. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me. My name is Dark, D-A-A-R-K, and I make nocturnal soundtracks for the cold north.
Nice, cool, yeah. I'm starting a label called The North Base too, so that's awesome.
Synchronized.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
alignment. And what kind of tea is that, by the way?
A little bit of throat coat for when you get a little mucusy in the morning.
Yep, there you
Yes.
go.
It's
Hell
also
yeah.
good for performances because I know I get anxious, I get dry mouth, and that tea fixes it.
Yeah, personally I really like green tea, but yeah,
Yes,
throat
sir.
coat too. I think I actually saw that once when I was perusing the halls of Cub Foods one day. I saw that, yeah.
That's where I get it too.
Yeah, very nice. You are staring at the city. We've got Dark. Dark, you told me that you have an EP coming out in mid-July.
Yeah, that's
tell 'em about
absolutely right.
Yep.
So July 14th, dropping a 4-track EP, Battle Damage 2, which is a
2.
sequel. Yeah. The first ever sequel kind of project that I've dropped to something that is related in the DNA to something I've done before. Last summer, kind of around this time, I dropped Battle Damage, just the tape, and it was some of the most like aggressive, angry music that I kind of like channeled out of myself because
We're artists, yeah.
yeah, in a therapeutic way, I had to like purge it from myself.
Yeah.
And so this summer, my goal is to just kind of like continue that energy, keep it aggressive, keep it sharp, keep it focused, but also just push out that energy in a joyful way, in an optimistic way that still gets rid of all this negativity.
I feel it.
Yeah, so I got a bunch of features on there, 4 tracks. I got Scurvy, first single, dropping June 30th, and then Hound 2, which is going to feature Big Key and Aweo Joe,
Nice.
dropping on July 7th.
Fire.
And that's going to have a music video by Skylar, who kind of works with the Sounds of Us collective. And once the whole 4-track EP is out, you're going to see there's also a King Swank and a Wings feature on there.
Let's
and I know
go.
They've both been discussed plenty on this podcast as well.
There you go. Okay, very, very good. 4-track project coming out in mid-July, and then are you a label? Are you independent? What do you?
I'm very independent,
Yeah.
but I'm also very collaborative. I don't necessarily line myself with whole groups so much as just like picking the artists that I really connect with on that authentic level, on that creative level, where we respect what everyone brings to the table and we just make different stuff that we all enjoy.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Very good. Cool. And what's your process about like production? Do you produce it all yourself? Do you have someone you send it off to? You...
Once in a blue moon. Okay, so I've made maybe 5 beats in the past year, if I'm being honest, which compared to most producers we know is nothing. We got a lot of producers like Sticks with hundreds in the vault.
Shout out Sticks.
King Swank, hundreds in the vault.
Yep.
But I'm not like that. I'm someone where if I'm really feeling it, I'll fire up GarageBand. I know the basics. I'm good at sampling, just kind of like basic stuff.
You might as well hop on Logic though.
Yeah, I mean, baby steps. Production is like, I'm
Yeah.
so slow at it, which is kind of why it's only 5 years at this point.
I
But
feel you, yeah.
my first producer credit was actually on Aweo Joe's past tape,
Hell yeah.
on the song What's To It, which is kind of like some sci-fi drill stuff. Check it out.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Oyo Joe talked about that project when he was on here, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Look at that come full circle. Very nice. Very nice. Anything else you want to say about that EP?
Yes. Shout out Sticks for mixing it, making sure that it's got all the weird DNA. I connect with him on that level where we don't really hold back on what we experiment with, and we just like try
Yeah.
everything until it's like exactly what we want it to be. I also want to shout out Delinquent, who produced half the tape, TVB. And then who am I forgetting? I feel bad. I'm leaving someone off the list, but that's how it is sometimes.
If you remember it later, you can.
Yeah, sorry about that. But I also got a bunch of really interesting CGI style art to kind of accompany it with the visuals.
Good.
And as well as a music video, which is dropping by Keo Visions, edited by him
There
with
he
the
is.
footage that we got from Skylar.
Good. Good. Yeah, I worked with him on a couple projects as well too, so that's awesome.
Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. He's a very talented artist as well, so that's cool. Look
Yes,
at
sir.
that, full circle. Nice. Okay, so it's like a full that's the thing, when you drop a project, it's very important to make sure that it's like fully fleshed out. It's not just the music. Like you also have the visuals to go with it. It's like very well mixed. Got some merch coming. Maybe.
I'm open, so actually,
Yeah.
I'm kind of talking to some of my friends that do like custom apparel kind of stuff, work
yeah.
on like screen printing type stuff.
Good shit.
I did merch maybe right before the pandemic. I had like a limited run kind of merch, which was super fun to do. But then I got to bring it back. I kind of think I bring an interesting sort of look to this dark sci-fi nocturnal futurism that we could put on some merch that could be really sick.
Branding is a powerful thing, you know, and when you have a brand, you might as well lean into it, you know?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Welcome back. You are staring at the city. We got Dark. Dark, tell me about your music video. You got is it out or is it coming out?
It's going to be coming out.
With OAO Joe and Big Kia?
Yeah, that's right.
What's the song called?
Hound 2.
Okay.
Which is kind of like a spiritual successor to Hound, which I dropped maybe 2 or so years ago at this point.
Hound 2. There you go.
Got 2 features, Big Kia, B-I-G-G, and then OAO Joe. And we got this kind of like hazy, foggy, drenched in like red and purple neon, like glowy sort of visual thing. We shot in my basement with a fog machine.
Word.
We worked with Skylar, working with Sounds of Us, and then my friend Aiden also, who works as a videographer at Crazy Eye Productions.
Okay.
And we did kind of a mix of like VHS style shots. We did digital stuff. We used the ring light on my back porch for it's kind of like this fisheye sort of effect.
Sure.
Think like surveillance mixed with like hazy, foggy darkness. You know, like it's a party, but it's a little scary too.
Okay. Would you say it's more of a performance visual, or is there like a story to it as well?
Minimal story. I don't like to keep things too complicated,
Sure.
you know. But we got a bonfire. It's kind of just like a nightmare party, but in the best way possible.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. Cool. And you said directed by, was there 3 different directors on there? Can you say them again?
So it's Skylar, who was putting together I Am Trill Sky on social media.
Okay.
He kind of does like the
Shout
main
out.
footage, shout out.
Yeah.
Main footage, he works with Sounds of Us, which is like a collective, but I'm just working with him solo. We got Aiden Smith, Crazy Eye Productions.
Cool.
Shout out Crazy Eye Productions. And he kind of did like the B-roll assistant footage as well. And then that was the main visual team. And then Keo Visions is going to be doing the editing, in addition to a bunch of like CGI assets that I like kind of worked with other artists to come up with and send in. So it's just going to be like a bunch of different mixed media going on at the same time.
Hell yeah. I'm excited to see it.
I'm excited to show it off.
What else can you say about it?
I can say that Kia starts her verse by barking. I can say that OAO Joe has one of the sickest breakdowns and one of my favorite verses the past several years of any Twin City artist. And there's a sample of someone woofing too. I mean, it's we're the hounds on this one. It's gonna be nuts, and I'm
Hounds
excited
too.
for everyone to check it out. Hound 2, yes sir.
Yeah. Make sure you check it out, man. When is it dropping?
It's gonna be July 7th. Music video, hopefully right after that.
Okay, very soon.
Yes sir.
Song coming very soon, music video very soon. Check it out.
Pre-save available right now in my bio.
We're back, we got Dark. So we were talking about community events and networking and collaborating in the Twin Cities. Tell me what you think, like how do you feel about the Twin Cities, like the communities here, the networking opportunities, like show opportunities, like what's on your mind when it comes to that? No, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of great community collaboration. There's a lot of great circles within circles, just communities within communities and sounds within sounds. But I still see a lot of group mindset that can be a little restrictive at times, especially with how events are run, the kinds of lines up you see, the kinds of lineups that you see, the types of artists that tend to maybe get featured over others that could maybe involve more collaboration within themselves, even with people that aren't necessarily within your circle like that, just seeking out the individuals that connect with you on that authentic artistic level to make completely different stuff. We don't need to think about making it big by making like marketing decisions and being cultural exporters if we can let ourselves experiment, because that'll solve the rest if you ask me.
Yeah. Having experimental art, giving people an opportunity, a platform that honestly they might not have gotten without it. just assuming someone might not fit into your circle doesn't really do much for you. Is that that's what I'm getting from you? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Most definitely, yeah.
Being transparent, being vulnerable with your art, being honest about what you like, what's really speaking to you, and what you bring to the table with your combination of influences, and how you can add things to each other's art that you never would have thought would be possible.
Yes. And where do you think that will take us as a community?
I think that it takes us toward more experimentation, more toward collaboration, and more toward just being flexibility, not just within our circles, but our circles within circles. And that can translate as well to like live events, trying different types of visuals, different types of structures that don't always feature the same kinds of artists that you see.
Yeah.
Seeing just experimental things and acceptance within the community of just like letting ourselves be there.
And where what physical places like are you like looking at to like plan your own events or like events that you like?
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of the difficulty right now. I'm always seeking spaces that are open to like DIY, especially when it comes to coming up with the visuals, coming up to the flow and accessibility of like public, but also like the circles of artists that we're really trying to reach and build this foundation with.
That balance, right?
Balance.
There used to be a spot called Honey that was great for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I used to go there back in the day too. I used to love that spot. Rest in peace.
You see any spots popping up now?
None that I'm satisfied with, which is why I'm searching to carve out my own spaces. I'm kind of putting out a call to anyone that wants to collaborate and search for these new kinds of ways that we can blaze avenues within the cities, right outside the cities, states by states, working with like Wisconsin, Illinois. Just there's so much around us, and we don't always stop and pay attention to it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add there?
Hit me up if you want to plan an event. We can come up with something super cool.
Cool, yeah, and you said you got that logistic mind, right? So,
I do, yeah. I tend to bring some of the like strategy when it comes to like, what do we need done? Who's getting paid? Who's on the same page? How do we communicate it? And how do we come up with just like the sickest thing possible?
All very important.
Yeah, without being held back by what's already out there.
Good. Experimentation.
Experimentation.
Yeah, that seems to be the key word, huh?
Yes,
Hell
sir.
yeah, the dark wave experimentation vibe. Cool.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. Welcome back. You have been staring at the city. We've had Dark today. Dark, I just got one more question for you. If there was a message that you could send to anyone in the world that might be watching this, because this could go anywhere in the world, what would that message be like? What would you say to that person? Like, what would you want that message to be?
So, I would say, make some art that you really care about, is really a piece of you, and be sensitive, be authentic, and share it with the people you care about, and be someone that others can share it with, because that's how you really share a piece of yourself. And if I've learned anything over time is through doing this, is that it's therapeutic and that it's community.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
We gotta let our soul speak. Yeah, okay,
Absolutely.
cool. And then you had just a couple final announcements that you were gonna make. What were those projects that you're dropping? And yep.
Yeah, so Battle Damage 2, the EP, whole thing dropping July 14th. But before that, I got 2 singles. I got Scurvy on June 30th, and then I got How To with Aweo Joe, Big Kia. That's on July 7th. Music video soon after. Whole EP, again, July 14th, Battle Damage 2, the EP. Super excited for all that to come out.
Tap in with Dark. Very organized, very clear-headed person. Today we talked about the EP you have coming. We talked about your music video with Aweo Joe and Big Kia on the way, and being community-minded, networking and events. Thank you so much for coming on. You've been staring at the city. This is Dark. I'm Nathan. Peace.
Thanks for having me, man.